But
oh my God. Well, the future of the Hudson Tunnel project hangs in the balance as a major deadline is fast approaching.
last week, workers and planners tried to sound the alarm because federal funding has been on hold since October. In today's Transit Tuesday, Greg Mocker breaks down how this could impact you.
You've been able to see the work for more than 2 years at multiple construction sites on both sides of the Hudson River and in the actual river. Thousands of union construction workers are on the job. But Hudson Tunnel project managers say crews will have to put down the shovels, park the equipment on February 6th, unless the Trump administration restarts the funding.
I decided to talk directly to the president.
John Mooney's been an iron worker for nearly 3 decades. He came to the monthly meeting of the Gateway Development Commission. The board heard from officials and workers about the current progress and potential impact of a pause in the work.
A union worker goes home and they make their neighborhood better, and by extension makes the country better.
You've seen the pictures. A lot of work. Those laborers are doing that work. We want to finish this project.
Tom Prendergast is CEO of the Gateway Development Commission and former head of the MTA. He says the commission and project representatives are in contact with the U.S. Department of Transportation and have addressed concerns about contracts.
If you suspend a job and have to close it down and secure it to start it up, you not only lose time, but you're spending money on things you didn't anticipate.
Regional planners are making the case about jobs, the economic impacts, and what happens if the original old tunnels go out of service.
Even people who aren't traveling across the Hudson River will find themselves stuck in traffic because the additional people who switched from commuter rail to cars.
This transportation crisis is a 5-alarm fire. Nothing short of that.
There is only one person who terminated Gateway, and there is only one person who could get it back on track, and that is President Trump.
There he is. There he is. Welcome back.
Here I am, yeah, dealing with that. I mean, a lot has to do with Senator Schumer and kind of politics. But
So give us the nuts and bolts. What is the Gateway project? Why?
yeah,
why
we need
is
it between the Hudson, between New York and New Jersey, under the Hudson River. The current one is 116 years old, and I think of that every time I kind of ride through it. They certainly have a maintenance project and plan, and redoing it is part of the thing down the line, but they have to build this other one, and they've been moving ahead. It started a couple of years ago, and they've already invested like $1 billion in it. There's 1,000 workers on it. The hiccup is this federal funding is paused because the government, during the shutdown in the fall, wanted to review some of the contracts. That just hadn't happened yet, so now they got a bridge loan to keep things going, but the Development Commission, which runs this operation, says we can only have the workers, we can only pay them, keep things coming through Friday, February 6th.
But now there's a lawsuit filed against the White House to get the funding restored.
Yeah, and that's the development today. And it's interesting, they went to a contract court. Sometimes we see these things end up in a federal district court, like congestion pricing. So the contract will be renewed. The state, the Gateway Commission is actually saying, you can't do this, asking a judge based on the contract. Money's been appropriated. Congress, years ago, Senator Schumer, the Congress people got this already kind of on the books. The president and the Department of Transportation currently saying, oh, we want to take another look at it. It's going to be up to the judge. Some urgency with this. Hopefully by Friday, maybe they get an emergency hearing. That's what I kind of would expect.
Is that the deadline for?
Yeah, that's when they say they're going to have to power down the work, which has its own cost. And then they're talking about cost overruns, not to mention the 1,000 people that are working now. It has something like 11,000 people total working kind of with the ripple effect of it. And to have to pause all that, button it up, you know, you're working on something, you go ahead. But then if you have to put it aside, that has a whole process.
Cost overruns. Wouldn't it be nice if one time in the history of ever there was a project that came in on time, on budget?
On time, on budget.
I mean, it's unheard of.
They do like saying that now. They'll be like, I want to point out to you, Greg, that this is on time, on budget. But yeah, it always kind of moves around. There's change orders, but this would be a giant one, and it would delay it. It's already not going to be till 2035 for the first ride.
You know when this will happen? When the sun rises in the west and sets in the east.
It will happen.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, can we talk about the mess it is?
Okay,
the streets
that's it.
and the snow
that's
and
a real
the
mess. And the garbage now.
Street parking, blizzard, cleanup, sidewalks. alternate side constantly suspended.
The snow has turned that beautiful color of
great,
gross, disgusting.
Yes, exactly.
So many disgusting colors to see on the way to work. Right, I don't even want to.
So what's the
think
plan?
about
What's
it.
the status?
Well, you know, DSOI, you have to love those people that are working, and the supplemental crews, other city agencies that have been working 12-hour shifts, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So the city, the Mamdani administration is putting the money there to fund this to the work. I think it's just the combination of a lot of snow. It didn't melt, the ice, and also we haven't had kind of a big rough winter in a while.
Yeah.
They had to get things rolling again with the hiring on the temporary snow people too.
Where was this garbage?
Which one? I know. I drive around looking
for. Were you in the outer boroughs?
I think, yeah, we went to Atlantic Avenue. We went to Sunset Park. You know, I've heard Gravesend had issues too around Jamaica. You name it, there was something. Staten Island, the borough president there spoke up about how resources were getting moved around because it is kind of a chess game.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
But they're getting to it. They say they're about a day behind. They're doing the composting trash.
So it is a tough job. Shout out to the sanitation workers who were climbing over snowbanks in my neighborhood to scoop up bags. They're doing what they can. They are.
Greg, wonderful to see you.
Okay, see you next time.
Keep up
I have to go.
Stay up to date with the roads and the rails and this fella. Great hair. Follow him on the gram or visit pix11.com. Thank you, Greg.